Hello friends, hi, how are we today? I hope you're all doing well. I am coming at you for the week of July 25th through 31st. Look at that, I actually know which week it is. And I am using a Beyond Paper Flowers kit. I was absolutely influenced because Planner Lama, if you haven't checked her out, you absolutely should. She used this kit, or she posted this picture of this kit almost a couple months ago now, and I almost immediately picked it up, plus another 2 kits I'm really excited about. But I picked up the kit. It doesn't come with headers or bottom washi, so I was using Simply Gilded washi. I had done a poll in my stories a couple weeks ago. We thought the blues and the pinks matched really well with the blue and the pink in the kit, and then I pulled in headers. My friend Jen got me headers from the Prairie Planner, so I figured I would use them, and I had the perfect headers. I've honestly gone for kind of like an old school 3 segment section look, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. I thought it turned out really well. I started the bottoms washi on the right side, which I don't recall doing. Like, I don't think I've ever started it on the right side. I'm always left side and then the right side. It's so weird. But I did that this week, especially because I didn't have a ton going on. I do have a ton going on in my next plan with me, but c'est la vie. Anyway, so the whole point is that I liked the pink, but the pink was like a bit... This is going to be very hard to explain, but the pink was a bit tricky for the bottom, I felt. That pink is hollow foil, and it's from the Preppy set. There's also a navy blue that goes with it, but the navy blue didn't match the kit. And the blue is just blue polka dots with silver foil. If you don't know, I will link my washi storage and organization video. Part of my big thing for Simply Gilded is that I love her polka dot washi. It's like my favorite thing in the world. And for a really long time, my white whale was trying to find the gray polka dot washi, and I finally found it. It was so good. I'm so happy about that. So I decided this week, because I don't have a lot going on and I didn't have a lot to fill in my sidebar, that I was going to bring the washi all the way across and not even try and fiddle with the bottom, not even try and like make a washi banner at the bottom. I just would go straight across, and I think it turned out really well. And then I got my little embroidery scissors and did a little bit of cutting there. It wasn't perfect, you know, it's very rarely perfect, but it worked. There's a tiny little bit overhang, but it doesn't matter. I thought it turned out cute. So far, I'm already loving how this turned out. Like, I'm looking at the spread in front of me right now, and I'm like very into it. So I couldn't figure out how I was going to do the boxes, and then I just figured I'd do them in order. That comes back to bite me in the butt a little bit later. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out how I was going to do the headers. But I didn't have a ton going on Thursday and Friday at all. So I decided that was the best day to do the full box. Unfortunately, the double box didn't quite fit over to the lines, but I mean, you can't tell at all. It looks fine. And then I decided I would just go in order. So the orange would be up in the corner, because I found it a very aggressive color. I don't have any orange washi at all. None at all. So I thought that it would be perfect and it wouldn't be too aggressive in the rest of the spread. And then I don't think I played around with the colors too much. I did a scatter this week, which is a bit weird because I think I did a scatter last week too. I don't typically do them 2 weeks in a row, but I liked it. It worked out for me, so that was good. And then I did the blue. You'll see that I left out the yellow. It was stupid for me to leave out the yellow. I didn't need to do that. But I really struggled now that I've been going for over a year with just like 2 headers. I really struggled with 3 to try and get them down. Let me know in the comments down below if you are also struggling with 3 headers or 2 headers or struggle with anything. I love the Green Nerd. He is my favorite one out of this whole series. I mean, I love them all, but he is my favorite. And I just sort of placed him at the top. And the only thing that I will say about Beyond Paper Flowers is that she has a different, it's a bit of a thicker paper, but it's not bad. So I struggled so much with the headers, I actually ended up skipping out on the headers, and I'm sorry that I didn't do the full walkthrough, but it honestly took me half an hour to get them down in the right way. Normally I color block my headers in a day, but I decided to do like the 1, 2, 3 colors. Unfortunately, just the way that it went down, I ended up having the purple on top of the purple box, and I think I have the yellow. No, I've got the yellow on underneath the yellow box, so it doesn't really look like it's a header. The yellow matches really well, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. It doesn't look bad at all. And then I just decided for a tiny bit of extra foil. I've got a lot of extra date dots, and I would bring in my extra foil date dots from Dash of Sun. She doesn't release those anymore, but I kept all of the extra ones because I'm only ever using 7 at a time, so it worked out really well. And then I just put them down, and I put the headers down. It was really cute. I wish I had been able to incorporate some of the nerd washi a little bit more, but I didn't really have a use for it in the kit, but it's pretty much my only leftover. So that turned out really well, and I just think that this is so cute. Like, I'm just staring at my spread right now, and I just think, like, the whole thing turned out so adorably. I can't wait to get into my day by day with you all. So let me know if you enjoy this format for the voiceovers, and for the length of video. Just tell me what you like in the comments down below. I'm kind of going back and forth. Sometimes I like to do a talk through. Sometimes I like to do a voiceover. I have a lot of videos that I want to get done this week. So we have to choose. Which ones are voiceovers and which ones are not. But thank goodness I have so many leftovers, because I was trying to find what I wanted to put down as my dinners in my sidebar. And then I ended up using, it's an old Murdoch Talk sheet that I got gifted several years ago. I shop Rachel's stash. And so she never used the sheet anymore, so she just gave it over to me. So it was just a leftover from Murdoch Talks. And it was at the very beginning, and it's a Monday through Sunday, and I just use it to mark down dinner. And I do, believe it or not, I go back into these, and I do look at the dinners for sometimes inspiration when I get into a slump. So it's beneficial for me to continue to write down. Habit trackers are just there because I don't really know how else to fill the space. And then just to fill a tiny bit more space, I added some washi at the top, and it ended up working out perfectly spacing wise. So I'm really excited about that. The kit did come with 3 habit trackers, and as you can see, here is where I ran into issues. Purple next to the purple, but honestly, it doesn't look bad at the end of the day. It looks really nice. I quite like it. So I was very excited. And then I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. And so I just laid it down, and that little space is big enough for a header, but I didn't have a header. And then I tried to fit my 10 millimeter, but the 10 millimeter was still too big. Couldn't figure out what to do. So I decided to go in with a Sweet Tea Sticker Co script and just leave it blank behind. And leave it blank. And so I went in. You are going to see a video in the upcoming months of my Sweet Tea Sticker Co reorganization, I should say. I go through a binder system, and it is the only one, or an album system, I guess, and it's the only one that doesn't work for me in any capacity right now. Everything else works really well. So I just put the dinner script, and then I started into my day by day. So I had a very uneventful Monday. First things first, not first things first. So excited I was able to bring in so many of my colorful stickers that I have been hoarding and haven't been able to use. Well, I have, but they just don't match spreads as well as this spread. I could bring in all of the colorful stickers in the world. So the first one is from Fox and Cactus, and I just marked that I went on a lunch walk. And then the next up is a swatch from the kit, and then a Sweet Tea Sticker Co envelope symbol to note that I got Happy Mail from Dash of Sun Designs. Then I noted that my kiddo was sent home from daycare with a fever, but it was so nonsense because he had a fever of 0.1 above what was the acceptable cutoff, and then he went for a nap, and he had been playing outside in the heat, and then he went for a nap, And then he woke up and he didn't have a fever anymore. So he came home and he was in a great mood, but he's not allowed back at daycare until he has negative COVID tests, and fever free for 48 hours without it was a whole silly nonsense. So I just used a sticker that I'm trying to use up to note that I filmed my plan with me. Then I used a large emoji to note that I went for a swim in the big pool. So my in-laws have a cool pool at their complex, open to anybody in the complex. So we took our kiddo for a swim. As I said, the heat has been really bad. It's really nice having access to their pool. And then I used a paper and milk icon at the bottom of the day on Monday to note that we had a goodbye dinner for my husband's grandfather who was going back to Scotland. That's where he resides. Then on Tuesday, these fantastic stickers from the Prairie Planner. I just noted that we had a COVID test for my kiddo. It was negative, fantastic. And I noted that I had an obstetrician appointment at 11 a.m. and I used a paper and milk Maru for that too. Then I used this awesome custom from TeddyPlansCo, and it's just my husband and my kiddo, and just to note that they had a really fun day together doing whatever they did throughout the day. And he did take my kiddo swimming at the big pool, so that was fun. Then I just used, and that was a Coffee Monsters Co emoji to mark that. I used another paper and milk scissors. I could have sworn that I bought cut nail stickers. I can't find them anywhere in any of my stashes, so maybe I dreamed it. But I cut my kiddo's nails, and then I used the purple swatch and a squishy from Happy Honeybee Designs. She is no longer open, to note that I made some chili oil. And then this laptop, I'm sorry, I don't know where it's from. I think maybe Paisley Prints Co. It was just a leftover and it matched the kit really well. So I just was doing recipe research that night because I get into funks when I cook and I don't like that. Moving on to Wednesday, you guys know that I hate writing next to the coil. So whenever I can, I bring it back, and I just noted that my kiddo was allowed back to daycare because he was not sick at all. He had just had that one day where he was a bit hot. So then I used one of the Coffee Monsters Co.'s budget emojis, which I thought were really funny, to note that I made an order from the Giving Girl, even though I'm supposed to be on a very low spend right now. Self-imposed. Like, it's just because I don't want to spend that much money right now. And then I used another paper and milk icon to note that I did laundry because that's all I ever do. Like, how many loads do you do a week? If you are a parent, leave me in the comment down below how many loads you do a week. Because I feel like I'm doing an awful lot of loads. Anyway, then I used a Fox and Cactus shopping script just to note that my husband went and tackled Costco, and he doesn't love Costco, so I was really proud of him for doing that. And then another Fox and Cactus shoe to mark that I went on a walk during my lunch hour. I loved how the first half of this week turned out. And then I used a pruning icon from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. and a wheelbarrow from Happy Honeybee Designs. As I said, she's no longer open. And then this is just a leftover sticker. I'm not sure where it's from, but it said, spent way too much time on TikTok. I have a problem with TikTok, so I usually put a time limitation on it, but not that night apparently. Then I had a sticker that was stuck on my yellow one, and I didn't want to pull it up. It was hard. It took time. It's a good thing that this was fast forward because it took a real long time to do. So, done with this side of the week. I was like, okay, fresh start. Let's start on Thursday because this is when my week started to get a little bit busy. Again, I never really have a busy week, but this is more of like a true three scatter from wherever it was, like way back when, if you remember planning in the planner community way back when. So I noted that I had daycare drop off on Thursday, and sometimes I just note that when I need stuff to mark. Then I used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to note the humidity was so bad and I was moist. And I'm sorry for those of you who hate that word, but I was moist. Like, I was damp. It was a situation. And then I used another Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to note that I had to go and pick up a prescription later that day. And a Fox and Cactus girl to mark that I sent out Happy Mail for 3 people, Rachel, Christy, and Lizu Plans in the Netherlands. And she's the only one who hasn't gotten hers, but she should soon, I think. And then I noted with another Fox and Cactus little Fox family that we had a lot of family time. And then that night I used a Paisley Prints Co little pillow icon to note that I went to bed early, and I love that blue. And again, I think it matches the spread so nicely. On Friday, I just used a leftover coffee sticker to note that I went to coffee time. It's my usual every other Friday when I get paid. And then I used the leftover phone icon to note that I called in an order to off the cleaver for the weekend, which was nice. And then I used one of the Fox and Cactus, not pastel girls, but polka dot girls. I never get to bring in the yellow one, and she's on her computer. And I just noted that I made an order from Simply a Mess. If you remember earlier this week, I said I was on a low spend. So that happened. And then I was so mad at myself. Apparently I had forgotten to pull out stickers for the rest of Friday. I have them pulled out for the entire weekend, but not the rest of Friday. So we'll come back to that. Then on Saturday, I used an emoji to note that I washed my hair, and it was a really refreshing shower given how hot it had been. And then I took my kiddo to Once Upon a Child and Toys R Us, but I forgot to mark Toys R Us. And then I just noted I took him to McDonald's. He had been really well behaved when we had to do some like boring adult errands, so that was good for him. And that was really fun. He had a good time. And then I noted with a Sweet Tea Sticker Co. icon that I did a load of whites in my laundry and a Fox and Cactus packing girl to note that I started packing for the cottage, and then a Fox and Pip change sheets icon to note that I changed my kiddos sheets, and the same icon to start my Sunday to note that I changed my own sheets, and another Fox and Pip girl to note that I did even more laundry. But I don't know, when I go away on vacation, I like to make sure that I have clean sheets when I come back. It's just like my thing. I like to change my sheets before I leave. Then I just used another Fox and Cactus icon from the trip sheet to notice that I finished packing, and a Maru in a car to note that we drove to the cottage. Then I had to redo that sticker that had fallen on my yellow nerd, and the playground sticker, and it was perfect for one of the things I wanted to mark for Friday. So whenever we play outside or explore outside, I think these jungle gyms are pretty cool to note. But we had gotten to the cottage, so we just explored everywhere and played outside. And then I used, from the summer sheet emoji, just the snorkeling one to note that we went for a really long swim. And my kid wasn't scared anymore, and he went in the water, and he went for a really long swim. Like, it was really nice. I had just put down on Friday some Fox and Pip little boots with a basket to note that I harvested beans for going up to my cottage so that we could use them. And then I got too intimidated by them because they're not French beans. So I got too intimidated by them to actually cook them. But I've got them in my kitchen now, and I will not be intimidated any longer. So you can see I'm here catching up, and I had family time with my sister and her boyfriend, and that was so nice for them to be able to play with my kiddo. And then I finally used the last paint swatch and a Sweet Tea Olivia to note that I had a very, very, very late night. And then I just used one more of an icon of my kid. I don't really have many sad icons, but I just used the custom from TeddyPlansCo again to note that our cat was awful and he scratched my kiddo because my kiddo doesn't understand how to safely play with the cat. So you watch them all the time to make sure that everyone's okay. This is my completed spread. I love how it turned out. I really hope you enjoyed it too, and I can't wait to see you in the next